Now, going back to that Business Week article that I mentioned before, it also emphasized the expanding roles of women in leadership. Share with us how you see the role of women as leaders and, how it's developed over the recent past and what the future holds from your viewpoint.
I think it's dangerous to talk about how left-handed people manage or blonde-haired people manage or any group. And I would include women in that category. There are women who manage like the toughest football player, ex-Marine, and there are women who manage in a more stereotypical way. What I would say about this is that there is a tendency for higher affiliation, a higher need to connect, balanced with a higher need for reassurance. That in general, boys are raised to be explorers and heroes, and girls not so much. And so when we think about women leading, and I just ran a women's only seminar in my office a couple weeks ago, so I spent a lot of time thinking about this. I think what we come back to is, how do we create platforms for reassurance? How do we make it so that even if our company isn't a giant, isn't, Google, how do we make it so that a woman leader feels like the team has her back, that she can have the confidence to make statements about where she's going to go without worrying about being undercut? And I think this applies not just to the women in your organization, but the men as well. That what we're seeing in this turbulent time is a need for people to leap across the chasm. And the way you're going to get your employees and your leaders to leap is if you spend your time building safety nets for them.
Yeah, I really like the distinction you're making there. It's not a gender issue. It's not a diversity issue. It really is just the core principles of the environment and how you're supporting and empowering and making possible that leadership. So, Seth, I know that a large number of companies now are taking steps to become socially and environmentally aware. Give us some insights on how you see the changing attitude of companies in this regard and how it plays into the focus and actions of today's leaders.
If I see one more banner or sign or disposable cup that talks about going green, I think I'm going to have to, burn my jeans or something.
Okay.
Green mail or greenwashing is just over the top. It's wrong. It's marketers run amok.
Yeah.
And I think the people who have thought about this need seriously would agree with me. And that what we need is a lot less talk and a lot more efficiency. And what that entails is taking a hard look at the choices you've made because you've always made them, right? This idea that people aren't allowed to bring a water bottle to work because they never have been. Or the obvious example of making people drive 10 or 20 or 30 miles every day to your office so you can watch them work because you don't trust them to work from home. The company I run, Squidoo, it's the 85th biggest website in the United States. We only have 6 people in the company, and all of them work from home. And the reason is because they're better at what they do than I am. So getting us all into a room would do nothing but distract them. And there are so many organizations that could take a deep breath, have people stay home, and would discover that this new form of management not only saves them money, but actually makes them better. Because what people will be missing are all those stupid meetings where they sit around doing nothing anyway. This goes back to the thing we started with, this core idea of leading, not managing. If you are leading a team of people who are all going in the same direction, you don't need to do things that will waste time or waste money or waste oil, because they're going to do the right thing because you spent the time to align everyone's interests. And when people's interests are aligned, you would be amazed at how fast your organization can go.